bond between a veteran and his dog is a powerful one. When we come back from war, we tend to isolate and lose our ability to bond with others. Well, our dogs help us with that reconnection process. My dogs have certainly helped me. On this next episode of Warrior Summit Outdoors, Sarge and I take bonding to a new level. For the last several weeks, Sarge has been taking upland training at Pheasant Valley Farms in Robisonia, Pennsylvania. And for the first time this season, my boy Sarge is going to be flushing pheasant. Sorry, Deucey, you can't come on this one, but duck season is right around the corner.
The master sponsors of Warrior Summit Outdoors are Theodora's Restaurant and Dr. Anthony C. Falvello of Coordinated Health. Sarge the Dog is brought to you by the Mosca Law Offices and Century 21 Bernstein. Deucey the Puppy is presented by Pride Mobility Products and Quantum Rehab Power Chair Solutions.
Hello, I'm Gary Sinise. At the Gary Sinise Foundation, we serve our nation's defenders, veterans, first responders, and their families. We're working hard to ensure their sacrifices are honored and supported before, during, and after their service. That's why we're wishing the best of luck to Warrior Summit Outdoors. Your show will help bring attention to the difficulties faced by our returning wounded heroes. And for that, I thank you. God bless.
Theodora's Restaurant in Drums, Pennsylvania, the area's premier spot for delicious American cuisine. Open for lunch and dinner, Chef Drew's diverse menu, including his weekly specials, certain to satisfy any appetite, and our ambiance, as appealing as our cuisine. We offer a variety of settings: indoor dining, private rooms, indoor and outdoor bars, and beautiful patio seating. Whether you want a meal out or to throw an event, from an intimate party to wedding, check us out. Theodora's Restaurant, American cuisine, world-class ambiance.
Northeastern Pennsylvania is a great place to live if you love the outdoors. We have amazing spots for fishing, hunting, and hiking. Everyone deserves to enjoy quality time in nature, but sometimes poor mobility makes that difficult. At Coordinated Health, we can help you become mobile again. I'm Dr. Anthony Falvello, avid outdoorsman and orthopedic surgeon with Coordinated Health. I have offices in Hazleton and Pittston. We are proud to sponsor this episode of Warrior Summit Outdoors. I want you to enjoy nature as I do, so give me a call and let me help you get into the great outdoors once again.
For those who serve today, and those who served before them, for those whose sacrifice will never end, the Gary Sinise Foundation shows its gratitude through entertainment, outreach, and life-changing support. We can never give enough, but we can always give a little more. Find out how you can donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
For over 25 years, Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, 118 Boulevard Road, Bloomsburg, has provided professionally designed skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields. All stations are handicap accessible, with resident NRA certified shooting instructors on site. There are packages available to fit anyone's budget, restaurant and catering on site. Our facility is also available for weddings, business meetings, bachelor and private parties. Call 570-384-2314.
Well, it was a big day for my dog Sarge, his first pheasant hunt. After upland training at Pheasant Valley Farm, it was time to put his training to the test. He'd flush him, another vet and I would knock him down. It was hot and dry and lack of wind, tough conditions for my dog, but I kept the faith.
So we're going to hunt ringneck pheasants today. In field hunts, it's important that the gunners stay in a line, that they're across from each other. Dog works out in front of us. Safeties are always on a field hunt until the bird is in the air. Now we tell hunters over and over it's okay to find that safety, whether it be a trigger safety or a thumb safety in the back, but leave it on until the bird gets up. That way there's no chance of an accidental discharge. Muzzles are pointed in the air on these hunts and away from the other hunters. The reason they're in the air is because the dogs are always in front of us, so we want the muzzles up. A lot of hunters want to mount their gun, especially on hunts with a pointing dog. They want to mount their gun before the bird gets up because they're used to doing that in trap shooting. Out here in the field, it's not a safe practice. You want to carry the gun in a ready position with the muzzle pointing up. Once the bird gets up, we always coach hunters. It needs to be at least above the people's heads, that being, especially with flushing dogs, on the flush the dog's going. So we want that bird to be up and over the dog. And if a hunter's shooting right over top of the dog, we always tell them let the bird fly. No bird is worth a person or a dog getting injured.
Sarge is a flushing dog, so he is going to be pushing the birds and sending them right up in the air. The other type of hunting dog that you hunt with on occasion is a pointing dog that's going to stop and point the birds, but Sarge is a flusher, so the gunners need to be ready as soon as he gets birdie. And you can tell when he'll get birdie because he's going to change, going to wag his tail goes around the circle. You can tell by his head that he's got bird scent.
When he gets a whiff, he locks it up.
Okay.
And then the funny thing is because he points too.
He does point on occasion, which some labs do. They'll briefly point and then they'll flush the bird. Unlike a pointer will point and hold the bird and the people flush it, and it's actually the best of both worlds. He points, his tail goes up, and then...
Which gives you a better idea, he's on a bird.
Right, right.
Come on, Sarge. You guys ready?
Right there, buddy.
The action. Oh, you hold your bird. It's your bird.
Dead ringer.
Nice! Good job. Sorry, get bird! Get bird! Good boy! Good boy, good boy, good boy. I wasn't giving you a chance to miss again. Sarge did his job and Chris and I did ours. It was a great day had by all.
I'm Brian Anderson. I served 2 years in Iraq. I lost both of my legs and my left hand in the line of duty. The troops coming home from Iraq is good news for all of us. But for many military families, another battle continues. Frequent and longer deployments have placed real financial, emotional, and sometimes mental strains on families. Unemployment among some troops is twice what it is among civilians. So now, more than ever before, our troops need us to be there for them. When military families need help, they call USA Cares. Please help by donating at usacares.org today. and give them a hand up.
Northeastern Pennsylvania is a great place to live if you love the outdoors. We have amazing spots for fishing, hunting, and hiking. Everyone deserves to enjoy quality time in nature, but sometimes poor mobility makes that difficult. At Coordinated Health, we can help you become mobile again. I'm Dr. Anthony Falvello, avid outdoorsman and orthopedic surgeon with Coordinated Health. I have offices in Hazleton and Pittston. We are proud to sponsor this episode of Warrior Summit Outdoors. I want you to enjoy nature as I do, so give me a call and let me help you get into the great outdoors once again.
If you haven't found the perfect fishing getaway, you haven't been to Captain's Cove. Located on Henderson Harbor in upstate New York, Captain's Cove offers a variety of accommodations to please just about anyone. The motel, also located on the harbor, offers a magnificent view. Enjoy free morning coffee, air-conditioned rooms, cable TV, and HBO. The cottage can accommodate up to 8 people with 3 bedrooms, a complete kitchen, washer-dryer, 2 full baths, air conditioning, an outside grill and picnic table. Call us today for rates and information at 1-800-824-FISH.
You know, Sarge has been such a big part of my healing process, and seeing all the upland training we did together pay off, I couldn't have been prouder. Well, as you can see, we've had a great day at Pheasant Valley Farms. We got plenty of birds. Sarge's dog did an awesome job. I was very impressed with him. He found the birds, he flushed them, we shot them. Great day. I was also really proud to have my man Chris with me. He's been on hunts with me before, and I'm glad to have him out here today. Chris had an amazing shot of one. Bird's flying. He shoots it. It looks like he misses. It flies halfway across the farm. We go looking for it, thinking it's still alive down there, and sure enough, I found the bird dead. And there it was. So I figured what Chris was trying to do was shoot the bird and get it to go ahead and land in the Jeep. So that was my guess. I don't know, Chris, tell me, was that you?
That was definitely my thought process, you know, because I strive on having good shots, but I figured, you know, try to do a little dunk shot into the Jeep.
That was nice.
Yeah, but the top wasn't off, so I think the bird on the descent saw that and just kind of
he just didn't want to go in, so he just kind of went off to the side a little bit. He wanted to give us a chance to go and look for him.
Absolutely.
A little more practice.
Absolutely.
I think that was a good thing to do.
What we did today was we went out and we stocked pheasants, which means we put pheasants out in the fields immediately before the hunt began. And then we went out with Sarge, who is a Labrador Retriever, and he is a flushing dog. So the difficulties we faced today were the temperature and the high cover and the lack of wind. Dogs find birds using the scent on the bird. And as he gets the scent on the bird, he gets very excited. You can tell by Sarge, his tail starts going around in a circle, and you can tell that he's got bird scent. So as a flusher, what he'll do is he'll go in and flush that bird up in the air, and then our 2 able gunners are going to shoot that bird, knock it down, and Sarge is going to bring that bird back. Sarge is a fairly new dog. He just was trained this summer. We helped Eric train Sarge, and he was on a pretty fast track. He was a quick learner, so he learned quickly how to work with birds. And each hunt he'll learn, and he's going to get better and better and better. He'll learn how to track birds. Today was hard because our cover got dry, so then it was hard for him to find the 2 that ran away. But he really did a good job for his very first pheasant hunt. We've had several different veteran hunts out here. It gives them an opportunity to enjoy being out in the field and hunting with the dogs, and it's just a way that we can help show them that we appreciate their service and what they've done for us, and it's fun. Hunting pheasants is a lot of fun.
Veterans always have a great appreciation for the outdoors because of who they are. And the other thing they have an appreciation for is the wide open spaces and the beauty that's out here. And it's fun to be out in the field, you know, watching them enjoy those things. One of the reasons why we started this training program was, as a preserve owner, I would watch owners bring good young dogs out, and their introduction to birds and gunfire was actually on their very first hunt, which is not, you know, the proper way to do that. One of the biggest mistakes people make is improper gunfire introduction. There's this thought that a dog is either born gun shy or not, which is not the case. Every dog that's gun shy, somebody made them that way. So we start out introducing them to a live bird, and as the dog gets excited in his pursuit of the bird, we start to carefully introduce gunfire. In pointing dogs, and we're also working on teaching that dog to point, also working on retrieving in both flushers and pointers. And then we take the owner all the way through the entire process. Typically their last lesson is an actual mock hunt where the birds aren't marked, they're carrying their own gun, working their own dog in the field, and we're just watching them and critiquing them. Eric called us a few months back and, you know, said he wanted to start training Sarge. And like a lot of people, you know, they buy hunting dogs and have good intentions up front, and before they know it, the dog's a year or two old, and they really haven't done a whole lot. So, and what was kind of unique about Sarge is, as a lab, he still hadn't really learned to swim yet. So we actually helped him learn to swim, learn to retrieve, learn to hunt upland game birds. So he was kind of on the fast track as being an older dog. It didn't take long, and Sarge was hunting in the field.
Eric's a great guy. He called me up for this pheasant hunt, and last year I had a conversation with him saying, you know, I never really bird hunted, and I'm just happy that he remembered that, and he called me out to spend this wonderful day. I mean, this is awesome. Being an outdoor person and being a hunter, I just never got into the bird aspect of it. So learning new things is always great. With this type of hunting, you got to expect the unexpected. It's just like anything else, you know, and service related, you know, you always got to be prepared. And that's, you know, I guess a good thing to learn.
Chris and I couldn't wait to eat what we harvested.
The Pennsylvania-based Valor Clinic Foundation provides veterans assistance accessing benefits, food, clothing, shelter, and support to homeless veterans, and post-traumatic stress resources. Founded in 2008 by veterans Mark Bayless and Tony Cross, we're a nonprofit dedicated to helping veterans navigate through the process of recovering and rebuilding. Please support the work of Valor Clinic Foundation. Help us give back to those who have given so very much.
Get the entire story when it's convenient for you, and get it from WILN News. 2 daily newscasts from your #1 source for local news. WILN's Evening Edition, news at 5:30, and WILN's Late Edition, news at 10. More than just headlines. It's the whole story. In-depth reporting on hot topics and more. Plus the area's most accurate weather report from the WILN Weather Center. More news, weather, and sports twice a day. Only on WILN, we're your local network.
When my mom died, Tony really would have liked to have come home. He was deployed to Kuwait. The Red Cross contacted his senior sergeant, and he was on his way home. For one day, for 1 hour, I felt like the most important person in the world was my mom. And getting her grandson home, the Red Cross is there for us.
Theodora's Restaurant in Drums, Pennsylvania, the area's premier spot for delicious American cuisine. Open for lunch and dinner, Chef Drew's diverse menu, including his weekly specials, certain to satisfy any appetite, and our ambiance, as appealing as our cuisine. We offer a variety of settings: indoor dining, private rooms, indoor and outdoor bars, and beautiful patio seating. Whether you want a meal out or to throw an event, from an intimate party to wedding, check us out. Theodora's Restaurant, American cuisine, world-class ambiance.
We We took the harvested birds to Chef Drew at Theodore's, and we were joined by Mark Bayless, a retired Special Forces veteran and co-founder of the Valor Clinic Foundation, along with a veteran benefiting from their good work.
Guys, I want to thank you for coming tonight. It's an honor. I hope we enjoy ourselves. And,
Thank you for having us. And me anyway.
It is definitely going to be good times. Absolutely. So let's all enjoy ourselves and let's dig into this food.
The soup's tremendous.
It is. So Mark, how has everything been going?
At our facility here in Pennsylvania, things are going remarkably well. I'm actually quite surprised. I don't know how much you know about the homeless, but there's two general categories of homeless when you're talking about veterans. The chronic homeless and the situational homeless. And what it takes to help those two different groups is different. And I think we have somebody with us today that's more situational. So we have 4 programs. We help veterans file their paperwork with the VA. We have a homeless veteran assistance program we call Hope for the Homeless. We set up, for all intents and purposes, a small department store that is free to the homeless. We invite the homeless in and interview and get to know the people we're helping. We'll give them clothes, food, whatever, for free. And in the process, we learn where the homeless veterans are. And so it's an outreach mechanism. They get a hot meal like a soup kitchen. They get a takeaway bag of food specifically tailored to homeless people, like a food pantry. They get a reissue of clothes that they need, whether it be from shoes to hats, whatever, for free. And we try to link them up with social services, and we try to recruit the veterans that we meet to come and stay at our homeless recovery center. We call Paul's House, is the local one, and we run a program that's designed to help rebuild the skills that the chronically homeless need to live a normal life again, and a peer-to-peer program to help the vets deal with the emotional scars of their service that affect the way they interact with others. Our third program is our Word of Peace Readjustment program that I mentioned is a piece of what we do at the house, but we have a more intense version where we do a retreat version out in a very pristine setting, take people away, all the other distractions. We do a series of retreats where they have life homework projects to go back and work to rebuild relationships that they wish hadn't been fractured.
That's awesome.
And our fourth project is at the end they build a life plan. Hey, where am I going from here? How am I gonna turn and do something different that's more in line with me consciously thinking about my life? What do I want it to be? And then a plan to go out and make that reality.
Your passion and your time and your efforts. I mean, around the clock. I haven't volunteered down there in a while, but the times that I was down there and just see the care that you have. And I think everybody down there, with the non-military volunteers, along with the military members, is seeing that, the passion and, that. So hey, this guy really cares.
Because I do not believe, at the core of my soul, that the reward for going to serve your country is to come home and live under a bridge. I just don't think that's the way it should be. I don't think that's what the American people want it to be, and we're doing our best to keep those numbers and give those vets another shot. The domino of relationship problems is a clear marker in veteran suicide problems. And if we can get our arms around the relationship piece, you can reduce the suicide numbers, you can reduce the homeless numbers, you can reduce the divorce numbers that are double the veterans that they are the civilians, you can reduce the unemployment rates that the veterans suffer that the regular community does not, purely if you can remind them how important it is to get along with people again. What kept them alive in combat is toxic to relationships when they come home. And trying to get them to relearn that, that kept you alive there, and it's cool. Everything that happens to you in combat isn't something you want to get rid of, but maybe you need to fine-tune some of that behavior changes that you brought home with you, and leave some of those behind, and maybe reabsorb some of the ones you had before you left. And sometimes it's harder for some to do than others.
Sometimes we neglect the things that are most important, and I was, just as Mark said, relationship issues with my family, my fiance, even with my kids. There comes a point where you have to say enough's enough. I was lucky enough to know that I was at a turning point that I had to either get help or that things were going to happen. And, you know, I knew Mark, you know, beforehand when the Valor House opened, and, you know, I knew that I was always welcome there. And that's one of the things, the one-on-one. There are other combat veterans there that understand, that you can relate to, especially with the PTSD. It's a big issue, and it's an issue that needs to be addressed. It's bigger than what one wants to believe. Statistically, they say 1 in 5. I honestly believe it's 1 in 3.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's much higher than that. Some people just don't want to recognize it.
And there's a lot of people who, combat veterans, who don't want to acknowledge it. And this is probably the worst thing you can do, is not acknowledge it. I did it for 6 years. And then finally, enough was enough. It bit me enough to realize that I needed help.
From the time of the conflict, we have a 5,000-ish number, a little higher, but not a lot, of casualties from enemy fire. And we have a 6-figure number from suicides. And I don't think people realize that we're more than 20 times the combat casualties happen as a result of the PTSD after the service than happen in direct conflict with the enemy. People don't get that. That's how important an issue this is, and it needs to be addressed.
And it's a learning curve. It's a new learning process. It's taking what you went through, processing it, and learning how to be a civilian.
Maybe it's a little more education about the transition. Maybe it's pills for at its worst time, but not pills all the time, and behavior modification training for how to adjust in lieu of, because the damage and the spin cycle that makes it worse comes from the effects of the relationship catastrophes and clashes.
And I think the average person on the street, the average person who may be watching this, you know, is going to look in there and say, you know, they put the bumper sticker on the car, they thank you for your service, but they look at you like they don't know what to do. Yeah, they're kind of like, they're not sure what to think. You're kind of like an animal in a zoo. You know, they want to go and see you. They like to pet you, maybe touch you, but you're still that animal behind the cage. And they're not quite sure how, you know, they may be compassionate about it, but they don't know how to help.
At Valor, we worked very hard, and the first program we went after was building an alternative that would work. And the second thing I'm very proud of is all our graduates are alive.
Guys, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. This was an enjoyable evening, able to eat the pheasant that we had, and I want to really thank Chef Drew, Theodore's Restaurant and Drums, for having us and hosting this. And so remember, courage heals the soul.